Hey guys, I'm super excited to get this video out quickly. I put one out Thursday and today's Sunday. So I received this beautiful bouquet from a member of my Apex community that came to visit. And I want to do like I did for my Mother's Day bouquet. I want to take out individual flowers and then paint them with just some random greenery. So I set up my recorder, and you never know how anything's going to turn out, but I was very happy with it. So I hope you enjoy. This is the one I did from my Mother's Day bouquet, where I took the flowers out and just drew them individually. And here are a couple more that I was practicing. All right, this is my setup. I just have some wet baby wipes and a big piece of parchment. I have all of my Nova color paints out and some various things, but I want a big mixing area, so I'm gonna try it this way. So I'm gonna start by just throwing some random green Just want some movement and maybe some stem looking things, something like that. I have this pink flower. So I'm going to take a Neo Color 2 crayon that's water soluble, and I'm going to try to just really quickly and loosely draw the shape of that flower. I know about the size I want, so just going to throw that on there. And then I'm grabbing a yellow, and I'm just going to throw some of that in the center and then around the page in a few places. So then I mixed up some reds and some pinks, and again, trying to very loosely just paint the petal shapes. Okay, so next I grab this cute little lavender flower, and I'm going to use a blue Neo Color 2 and just make some little shapes. I'll draw it in blue, and then I paint it with like a lavender and then a lighter lavender. And I put some on the left side and a few on the right side. Okay, so I got a little bit of the greenery put in, and now I'm going to draw the second flower. It looks like I'm using a green, and again, I'm just going to quickly and loosely try to make the shapes of the petals, and I also add a few other little shapes, leaf shapes, and that type of thing. So I started this flower in pink, and then I added some red to it. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking at this point. As I finish up this flower, I'm thinking that the flowers are too similar in color and too similar in size. So I'm going to have to address that issue. So then I pick my dark green. That's a sap green. And I start adding it here and there. I love fat stems, and I really like starting to add some darks, and I just kind of move it around. I don't really have a plan, but I'm just going to add it here and there. Paint out some of the leaves, and then just add some stems here and there. Just like with the green, I'm adding some yellow, and I'm scraping, adding a few dots, adding it to the left of the green stems, and just kind of moving it around the painting. So I drew the rose and painted it orange, and now I've mixed up a red and I'm adding it to the upper flower. And I really like the way that turns out. I'm covering the petals, but I'm also leaving kind of the ragged edges that were underneath. So now I'm taking a little container I have of like a dirty white, and everywhere I see white, I'm just touching. I'm kind of squinting and not trying to be real careful. Just like I said, as I squint, everywhere I see light, I just add a little bit of that. It knocks some things out, but like right here where I'm touching that red flower, I love how that reshapes the petals a little bit. And you'll see here in just a second, I touch the red flower again, and it changes the petals some more. So I'm just touching here, there, everywhere, just where I see light, and just kind of putting dots or just anywhere I see a light. Okay, right there is where I was talking about. See how it changed the shape of that petal? I love that. And I'm not thinking a whole lot about it. And again, I'm going to do it on these petals too. Just touch right there, touch in between, and all of a sudden, I like the way that flower looks way better. Okay, so at this point, I must still be thinking that that flower is too big. I want it a different shape than the other red flowers. So I knock out a petal, and also the orange rose, I start kind of carving that. You see I'm just barely touching the edge and just starting to carve that out. I'm not thrilled with the orange rose, so I just start a little at a time, just carving it down and then seeing what I get. Like I said, I knocked out the petal on that the pink flower, and then I also just I'm hitting the edges, and I'm making it smaller because I don't want it the same size as the red flower or the same shape. So I'm just sort of touching it here and there and touching the rose and just trying to carve them down until I'm happy with what I have. And then I'll go back and forth. I'm adding a little yellow here and there. Just kind of touching a few dots, a few little strokes. And now I'm going to dry it. I've grabbed a blue Neocolor 2, and I'm just adding some blue in there. Again, just touching it here and there. So I'm still working on this orange rose, but I don't love it. So then I hold my hand up. I'm trying to see, okay, what if it was this shape? What if it was smaller? So then I start carving it out. And the thing of it is, I mean, I can carve it out and then I can put it back in, but I'm just trying to see if some kind of shape, if I'm happier with a different shape. So I've got it smaller now, and I like it better. I wanted it to be a different size than the other two flowers. So I like it better. Not sure I love it, but I'm just still working on it. Alrighty, let's put another coat of orange on this rose and change the shape a little bit and see what we think of this. I mix a little red with the orange, and then I hold the flower up, and I'm just trying to just touch in some petals and just kind of get the shape. So I keep working on that rose, and now I'm adding a little bit of that orange here and there. Just touching it, a dot here, a dash there. Adding some lighter orange to that rose, and now I'm adding some blue, some of the blue Neo color too, and now I'm carving it out a little more. So that rose is interesting. You know, when I paint the bottom of it out right here, I do like the shape of it better, but I'm still not totally crazy about it. Okay, so I'm adding some green, and then I go right on top of that rose, and there you go. I decide to knock it out. I decide I just want all of the greenery, and then I take my orange Neo Color 2 and just make 2 leaves, and then I fill those in with a little bit of green and throw some of that green in a few more places. And I have to say, I love that now. I just never could get the rose to work right, and that's fine. You know, I can just do something else. And if at this point I wanted the rose back, I could put it back in. But I absolutely love those 2 leaves with the red Neo color. And now I'm continuing to touch it here and there with the off-white. I love all the off-white. I think it brightens up the painting. So here it is all finished, and I have to say I love the way it turned out. I'm going to come here so you can see it. And then I'll get in a little closer so you can see all the marks. Lots of layers. It went through a lot of different stages. But I love it. I'm going to pull back out here so you can see it. I actually did this one on watercolor paper. It's a 9 by 12, so I'm going to post it for sale on my Daily Paintwork site. And I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.